Hi guys, I'm here at Zeekr again. They called me and told me that they have this Zeekr X ready for me. I believe a lot of you are waiting for the review or test drive or experience of this car. And this is the nice building in PJ over here. I just spotted a 009 with a very unique color. This is dark blue. I haven't seen this car before. I didn't know this car existed. So I asked them. They say no longer in production. Can't get the dark blue anymore. But okay, it's not that it's nice or not nice. It's just that I've only seen black and white. And suddenly seeing a dark blue, hey, that's not bad. That's how people work. Oh, sorry. They always want to reverse. That's the thing with electric cars. Sorry, no sound. Then this green is also very, very nice. So yeah, I'm driving the Zeekr X, but maybe I should video this car's exterior. Okay, like the one for walk around. Hey, but this color damn nice way. This color is damn nice. I like. Seriously, I think Zeekr's designs are more European, and I know the designers are European team as well. So anyway, that's like what do I call the color? I wanted to say some dirty stuff. Sorry, it popped up my head in terms of soya bean. Okay, soya bean. Okay, soya bean. This one, actually, this color lah. This one, the nearer I go is okay. It's not soya bean. I don't think the name is soya bean lah. But you get this is a more milk kind of color, and then that one is like a grey color. Yeah, that's a grey. It's like a crayon type of grey, and like Audi's Nardo grey. Look at all these designs, and then suddenly this one look like old car like that. Anyway, let's go. So I believe the high performance version has Continental tires. The lower one has GT. Okay, so the one I'm getting is WMW 911. Must be some 911 plate that I really don't like the way this key is designed, but I'm supposed to just pocket it, right? I'm supposed to just pocket it, and what do? Oh, I push it. So inside, oh, it's an electronic release. Why does it pull back? Ui. Open the door. Hi, Zeekr. What does it do? Do I talk to it? So cute. Hi. Can you open the door? Hi. Oh, why does it? I feel the resistance there. I thought it would open by itself, but actually this kind of thing don't need We don't need this kind of stuff in. So I felt the resistance, and then I thought it will open by itself, so I let go, and then okay, let's see. Adjust my seats, and wow, the interior is very nice. Look at the pulsating lights. Look at that. See, a lot of stuff's going on. What is this? I think a lot of stuff to explore. Okay, does it close the door itself? Let's try. It doesn't. Then why does it have that resistance on the? When I was trying to open the door, maybe it's, I don't know. Okay, I'll do the walk around later. Oh my god, the quality, bro. Okay. Let's mount you guys first and do the video. Let's drive. Alright, on the way here, I turned off quite a number of things. Let's give it a check whether it has reset everything. Okay, lane keep assist, I've turned it off just now. It turned back on, lane departure warning. I wanted to turn it off, confirm. And then speed limit adaptation, front collision mitigation, I've turned it off as well. Rear cross traffic alert off. Emergency braking, leave it on. Door open warning, blind spot warning, visual is perfect. Driver fatigue, distraction warning. Distraction warning comes up too often. Sometimes when I'm checking side mirrors for a little bit longer, it will come back on. Overspeed warning off, it hasn't turned back on. All right. As for driving, acceleration, standard is more comfortable. Sport is a bit too much, but okay. Other than that, it's all right. Okay, let's drive my car. I have turned on the aircon seats just now. I don't expect it to be on when I got onto the car. Circulation remain closed, just like how I like it. Okay, shift it into gears, it will turn on the car. All right, let's go. What's that sound? Check your surrounding. Yeah, that thing, I do not know what triggers it. Sometimes a motorcycle passed near me and then it will go, check your surroundings. The seats are very comfortable and they have aircon seats. But I can't seem to find the rear USB-C plug. Anyway, I'll do that in the walk around. This is about driving. I appreciate how the car brakes better than the Emeya that I just returned. The Lotus Emeya has a... What's that boy doing? Oh, he let me pass. Okay. The Lotus Emeya, towards the very end of the brake pedal, it kind of bites suddenly. Yeah. And the acceleration of this car is bonkers. Let me just say that. 3.8 seconds to 100. That is mad. Very mad. The steering calibration, the suspension, and all that is no problem at all. I noticed yesterday at the showroom that the high performance version comes with Continental tires. The lower performance one comes with GT tires, which are not bad at all. Now, suspension, I believe is not active in any way because it sort of feels the same whether I adjust to, sport or normal. And the fact that the car, the part where it allows me to adjust normal or sport is separated, right? So you can do with the acceleration, you can change to normal or sport or comfort, and you have the steering, whether it's sport or normal or comfort, sport or comfort, and the, what else? Regen. That's it. It's not like holistically a comfort mode or a sport mode. So I don't believe the suspension is adaptive. Suspension is tuned well. So it's a sporty type of suspension where you can feel the road more, all right? But going over bumps and all that is okay. It absorbs well. So I actually am rather interested with this car. I mean, I'm interested with all Zeekr cars because they look great. Oh, look at that. Massive acceleration, man. And this is in normal mode, not even the sport mode. Okay. It is brilliant. You can aim for a gap that is much further than you can in an ICE car. In an ICE car, you have to gauge for the build-up of power. You have to gauge for when the engine revs up and all that. In an EV, you don't have to. You can safely execute the maneuver and end it. Yeah, the seal also can do the same thing. Yeah. So I watched a lot of international reviews on this car before it arrived actually, and all of them said that the car in China has a very city comfort bias pedestrian kind of suspension setup, which is the kind of suspension ride and handling that that earlier on I expect from Chinese cars. You know, like those, like the Aura Good Cats and all that, right? Our Proton X70 was the first proper introduction of modern Chinese cars to us, even though in comparison to what they have now over there is no longer considered modern. I was expecting that. And then I heard somehow the team in Malaysia, which consists of racing drivers who brought in Zeekr, all right, two rather close friends of mine. They are racing drivers. Yeah, they really requested China to have the suspension setup of this car modified or rated for Malaysian drivers' driving style, which is we prefer a more European car handling, which is we don't need that much of a roly-poly soft car. We want a bit of road feel, steering feel, and better driving engagement. And there you go. Because we all know these cars are sister cars, right? The Zeekr X, the Smart, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, or which one, or the lot of them, okay? And the Volvo EX30. They are all sister cars. They are from the same group, the Geely group. And I've driven the EX30. It handles really well, right? Really nice handling. And I drove it in Sweden, right? It was lovely handling. And this one, when I read the reviews, I was like, oh, okay, different proposition. Even though the design of this car seems like it's a bit more aggressive, right? And then I've driven Smarts, lovely drive. Regardless of the form factor and shape, like Smart 1 or 2, #1 or #2 or #3, they all drive rather well. Soundproofing not their strongest part in the Smart, all right? So when I saw this car, I said, I love the design of this car. It's very forward-looking. It is modern. It is actually. I mean, you know what? Zeekr is the embodiment of the promise of both Volvo and Audi, if you think about it, right? Audi is about what? Vorsprung durch Technik, right? Advancement through technology. And then Volvo is their intricate Scandinavian design, you know, very smart designs. And these two things seems to be in Zeekr's, you know? They have a lot of forward-thinking, unique solutions that you never thought of. Sometimes it's unnecessary, like this one, for no reason. It folds up. Why? Probably to have good access to my tissue box. I don't know. It is weird, but it has become a fun thing that I do in traffic jams. You know, train your biceps. Anyway. And when I drove the car, it's like, wow, I love the handling. And this puts in a question. Is this now the best amongst its sister cars? Because how much is this car? 150, 160 grand? That's a far cry from the other two that are asking 200 plus. Even though by asking 200 plus within Volvo's lineup is by no means expensive, right? So interesting. And there's another thing. This is about perception and expectations. You see, the Volvo EX30 was designed with the classic modern, okay, the classic here doesn't mean old, it means the standard, modern, good-looking SUV proportions. So the EX30 in photos and videos, you look at the car, if there's no one standing next to the car, you would have expected the car to be a much larger car than it is, because it has the perfect proportions of a modern compact SUV. Something like a Macan, something like an X1, like an XC40. It has that kind of proportion and it looks great, okay? And I suspect if Volvo made the EX30 into the same size as the XC40, they will roll off the lots. People will be snapping them up like crazy. It's just a 10-15%. I mean, you scaled it in Photoshop, right? You just drag it by 10-15%, they would have sold a lot more. Why? Because in real life, the car appears smaller than it is. Now, this car is designed differently. This car is designed to have the classic proportions of a small, tiny, compact city car. If you look at this car from photos, right, it sort of looks like this tall, a little chubby but handsome looking little compact car. You would have expected this car to be in the size of a Suzuki Swift, of probably a Myvi, that sort of form factor, because it follows that proportion. And then when you see the real car, it is a lot larger than it is. I am sitting par on par, same height as a Proton X50 next to me. In fact, I think it is the size of an X50. An interior room is spacious in this car. It is spacious compared to the EX30 and compared to the Smart Hashtag something. All right, this seems like the most spacious one. Okay, so that's the proportion thing. Get out of the way, the perception and the expectation part. So I believe when you see this car on photo, it looks good. You thought it's like, okay, 150, 160,000, this goes against the Volkswagen Golf or something, and then you arrive and see the car, it is a lot larger than them. In fact, you sit a lot higher. I'm sitting on par, same par with the Harrier in front. In fact, if I park next to it, I don't think I'm that much lower than the Harrier. I'm probably the same height as the X50. And the ground clearance of this car, is genuine crossover. Yep, so it's nice. It's nice. So yeah, it handles well, it accelerates hard, and it corners well. Ride quality over bad roads, I don't think it is as good as the Dolphin, the BYD Dolphin. In fact, all BYDs roll over bad roads really, really well. But the Dolphin doesn't corner as sharp as this one. Of course, it is a lot cheaper, but hey, it's like what, 30,000-40,000 difference, right? And then I'll go through the walk around later. Interior quality is top notch in this car for its segment. Okay, and another thing, I've driven the 009. If you guys saw the video, the Zeekr 009, I love that car. I mean, the car has all the shortcuts over here. I'm not sure if it is customizable, but the shortcuts are here, blah, blah. It's okay. And then I got into this car, the shortcuts are not here. They are down here. And I suddenly find myself couldn't adjust the side mirror yesterday because there's nothing here for me to adjust the side mirror. I was trying to look for it over here. It doesn't come out. And then it is here, the shortcut menus where you have all this car control stuff, fold side mirror, adjust side mirror, you know, heads-up display and all that, they are here. So I need to learn myself. So I believe modern Chinese cars, because they are very forward-looking, they don't care about your old tradition of how you guys, you know, European or Germans or Japanese do things. They have their own thoughts, okay? And the gear lever is on the steering column, which I believe for EV cars or for modern cars, there's no direct linkage anyway. There's no reason to put a gear lever in the middle anymore. Just put it over here or your buttons somewhere. You know, you don't need a gear lever at all in modern cars. All right, and this is perfect. And then the steering wheel mounted controls. I've mentioned many times I love Geely Group's adaptive cruise control, where it's always on the left side. You press one button to activate it, and then you have the plus and minus on the distance control, and it's super simple. I couldn't find that on this car. It drives me nuts. Then I saw a logo at the gear stalk. So their logic is perfect. You pull down for drive, which means you drive yourself. You pull down again, which means adaptive cruise control, right? Which means it follows the car in front. That is another level of driving. You pull the stalk down double, you go into full adaptive cruise control with lane keep assist. That's logic. And I was like, how do I set the speed? I want to increase the speed and decrease the speed. No, you don't need to do that, because as the speed climbs for the car in front that is distancing itself from you, you as the driver has the responsibility to step on the throttle to follow up with the traffic. After you follow up with the traffic, you can again pull the stalk down to re-engage the new speed registered for the adaptive cruise control. That is pure logic. You don't need a separate stalk like what Audi did in the Audi Q8 e-tron with that separate stalk. The old adaptive cruise control that is so convoluted, so you push to turn on and then you pull down to set and then you increase speed, decrease speed, all that nonsense with that separate nonsense stalk. What that shows is they did not progress with their thinking. They did not Vorsprung the technique. This one does, because I was frustrated by it first, then I realized they stuck it over here, and then everything clicks. It's logical. I'm driving like that, I pull it down once, and then I am in ACC with that sound. And I don't even need to manage the distance between cars, because the car is already smart enough to determine the distance by the speed, which BMW has begun to do as well, and Mini Coopers. Mini Cooper went one step ahead. If the car is too near, the regen braking is stronger. That is not bad, but some further calibration would be nice to make it not so awkward, whereby sometimes you feel the car regen too strong when, you know, a car is like slightly off its lane or something. But I buy that idea. What Mini is doing, I totally agree with what they are doing. That means they dynamically increase the regen based on your braking needs or the distance of the car in front. Smart. Okay? Oh, that's a beautiful Audi A5 convertible. A 17-year-old design that looks just as modern as any modern EVs out there. And it's gorgeous. Walter De Silva design. Okay, see, now the car is gapping me. Okay, I'm at the limit of 30 km/h. I increase my speed to follow them to 31, 32, 33, 37, and pull down again, and then it updates the speed to 40 now. When I put it down just now, I was at 40, and then it is now at 40. If I do a double click, it will be full-on adaptive cruise control with lane keep assist, which unfortunately I've switched off my lane keep assist. Now they have speed up again. It is my responsibility to follow the speed of the traffic. I can accelerate, but if I let go again without pulling down the stalk, it remains at 40. It is so smart. First day I was frustrated, but now I realize they are smarter than me, which, yeah. What is that? It's a Mustang. Beautiful car as well. Crap interior. If only the Mustang have an interior like that, it will sell a lot more and doesn't get chastised as often. Yeah, so now I'm crawling in the traffic, but it is my responsibility to hold the steering wheel, and I don't need to press the brakes. I don't need to accelerate if I don't need to. Yeah, braking is the one that I need the car to do it for me, so that it's not so stressful for me. I can be looking at the sun over there, I can be looking at the motorcycles over there a little bit. You know, it takes and it de-stresses me, makes me less tired. I am someone who has survived through an 8-hour traffic jam, back-to-back traffic jam, like non-stop traffic jam from KL to Singapore using adaptive cruise control. And I tell you, when I arrive at the immigration, everyone around me is man. I'm the only one who is sane. And this happened 8 years ago in a Volvo V90, no, 8 or 7 years ago in a Volvo V90, or was it XC90? I forgot. I was fetching my auntie back to Singapore. Half my family are from Singapore anyway. So, yeah, for the driving part, no complaints at all for what it is. Just that you ought to spend quite some time going through this car with the salesman, and then you will forget what he said because too many information, and then you spend a week or so to slowly discover features. I found 2 buttons at the back of the steering wheel. I still do not know what do they do. I believe they are customizable based on where they are, and I hate them for making these 2 buttons so simple, so clean, which would have otherwise served a lot more function. But I believe, just like how I discovered the adaptive cruise control stock, they should surprise me, because these are Zeekr we're talking about. It's a bunch of very smart Scandinavians designing these cars and then building them in China. All right, they are smart. And if you look at the utilization and usage of cars, right, what BYD does really well is you hop into the car, there is zero learning curve. That is why BYDs are selling so well. You go to the showroom, you go inside, immediately you can operate the car like how you operate your current Toyota, Honda, Nissan and all that. And then you don't get frustrated with all that thing. Immediately your concentration goes to what? Goes to whether the car is comfortable or not, whether the car is powerful or not, and whether the car is fast enough or handles well enough or not. You focus on those, and they do those really, really well. So BYD sells so well is because of that. When it comes to beauty contests, there's no way BYD is prettier than a lot of other Chinese cars. They are not. They are not, okay? They use very conventional, very predictive or expected designs, right? In layman terms, or not layman, their designs look like what? Look like you just put a prompt into Mid-Journey and ask them to design a modern EV car sedan, and then it would 90% of the time it's going to look like the Seal, and if it is an SUV, 90% of the time it will look like a Sea Lion 6 or Sea Lion or something like that. So that's how BYD's design do not offend people, do not put in front of you a mountain of a learning curve, and that's why they sell. But these guys have their own thinking, you know, they have their own very unique ideology, which I appreciate. All right, but of course the learning curve is there. Okay, so you better spend time going through all this. That's what makes them special, I guess. And of course, the one in China, this entire screen can slide over to the passenger side for them to consume their media, which in Malaysia, I believe is compliance issue, that they can't spec that, you know. It's crazy, the stuff that Chinese do. Imagine a whole gear at the back, moving this whole thing, sliding over. Yeah, probably it's still there, just that the software button is not out here for us to do it. Anyway, yeah, driving this car is very comfortable. Visibility is fantastic, and no complaints at all. No complaints at all. And yeah, anything else? Oh, the traffic jam assist. I do not know when it will move by itself. Now it's creeping, it's crawling. Sometimes when it comes up with a message that, oh, vehicle in front has moved, please, you know, lightly press the throttle to continue. You see, if I don't move, it doesn't move now. But just now, it moved. So I have no idea when it will decide to follow the traffic in front, when it decide not to. I have no idea. Very interesting. Sometimes it will creep by itself, sometimes it doesn't. Okay? Probably there's a time delay, probably like, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds. Over that, you have to initiate it yourself. Below that, they will do it for you. Okay? So, yep, that's roughly how the car drives. And I will do the walk around, which I believe will be rather interesting. Cheers. I believe you guys can see what I'm seeing. So, yep. Oh, to initiate traffic jam assist on this car is unlike the Zeekr 009. The Zeekr 009, I can just press a button at any speed, even when my car is in full stop. I can just press a button and it will go into adaptive cruise control, which includes traffic jam assist. This one, I'm not sure because it doesn't allow me to initiate it below, below 30 km/h, and it will not reinitiate roll off when traffic starts moving. I need to activate it. So this is more familiar with the system inside current generation Volvos, the XC60, the XC90 and all that. There is a minimum speed that you need to hit to initiate it, and then whilst it being initiated during traffic jam, when the car stops fully, when the traffic in front starts moving, you need to initiate it for it to move, which you don't need to in the Zeekr 009. So I suspect the Zeekr 009 one is a higher grade system, cost probably. This one is the same as the current generation of Volvos, all right? And I usually use it at morning traffic jams like this, so I don't need to stress myself, you know, pressing on the brakes and whatnot. But of course, you will notice everybody, see how the car brakes. See, Geely Group's one, they deal with that super fine, no problem. And if you notice, everybody in Malaysia, or at least in Klang Valley, which is our capital region, because KL is the capital, and then we have a few satellite cities that are near KL that are highly important, PJ, Shah Alam, Klang, and all are regarded as Klang Valley. Okay, so in Klang Valley, people here, which is the economic center of Malaysia, you will notice that in morning traffic jams, most of us would keep to the right side on the right lane, and on the left lane, everyone will keep to the left, because in Malaysia, we have zero discrimination against motorcycles. Okay, they can legally split traffic in the middle, and we have to be very careful of them when we change lanes and all that. And then they can travel across the innermost lane, the middle, basically wherever they want. All right, so we have to take care of them, because yeah, when accident happens, for us it's just a dent on the door. For them is bye bye kudasai. All right, so we have to be careful. So that's why I don't turn on the full assist, whereby the car would forcefully read the markers and pull my car to the middle of the lane. All right, yeah, so I highly appreciate adaptive cruise control these days. Just makes my morning commute, my daily traffic jam commute, less stressful. I have time to appreciate the trees, the buildings afar, other people's car if it is interesting, some billboards. Yeah, it makes you less stressed, less tired. All right, cheers.